Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/PettyRevenge. In today's episode, got fired from my internship, so I sued the company and got money. I ended up on a mural facing my ex's window. Flamingos are so last year, let's decorate for every holiday ever. Town revenge against a neighbor. You get a tiki torch, you get a tiki torch. You all get tiki torches. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Got fired from my internship, so I sued the company and got money. I, 22 years old, male, sued my internship company because they fired me for no reason. It was a startup company. Things were fishy from the beginning, but it was my first internship, so I was still naive then. I slowly realized that all the employees, for LOL, were all interns. The person who taught me the job was a fired intern too. Fast forward to a month after, and I get this email from the manager saying that he feels that I am not committed to his company. No warnings beforehand whatsoever. He said that at the office, I appear slow and uninterested. Little did he know that I carried the whole customer support emails by myself and actually took the time to reply to each one without ignoring it. Anyway, after I saw the email, I replied and told him that this is not the case and he should give me another chance. He replied and said no. I replied again and low-key begged him because he was basically screwing my study, as an internship is a mandatory part of it. He didn't reply and ignored me. I asked to have a meeting with him and he ignored me. So here is when Petty me took over. I wrote a long message calling him a stupid in professional words. I sent that message in the group chat with the other interns, and luckily, a new intern had just joined the company and she saw it. Then he finally replied to me and was like, "Oh, things sometimes don't work out and it happened to me blah blah blah." I didn't feel fulfilled yet, so I looked at the contract and saw that under termination, it said that a 1-month notice should be given before termination. He terminated me without the month notice. So then I consulted a lawyer and we filed a lawsuit against him. I didn't win, but I got a settlement and got some money about it. I caused him nuance while I lived on and enjoyed my life and got a better internship. He probably had to pay for his lawyer, and I also took time off of his work. I couldn't be happier to see his grumpy face. I sincerely from the bottom of my heart wish that this dude never finds peace. I ended up on a mural facing my ex's window. I thought this was kind of awesome. A long time ago, I had a relationship that ended poorly. There was a cheating incident involved and not participated in by me, so that's all I'll say about that. There was a huge fight and then the breakup and then a long period of not seeing each other. I'd say about 6 months. Here and there I'd hang with a mutual friend who always gave me all the drama. She hates you, she thinks you're in the wrong for not seeing her side, and then my personal favorite, she thinks you're ugly. I just rolled with it and moved on with my life. Looking back, I chalked that relationship up to *T happens. Then, my good buddy, who was an artist, asked if he could use my face, as well as several other people's faces, for a mural he was painting. It was a move with the record label I work for to team up with him, and they got the permits and everything. One day, weeks later, I'm driving through town, having only seen texts of the finished product and actually being very impressed at the finished project through photos. I'm at the corner next to where my ex lived, and lo and behold, I see my ugly mug plastered on the white wall directly facing her window. Anyways, that's my story. Mural only stayed up for a few months, but I take solace in the fact that she got to see my ugly face every day for a good long while. Flamingos are so last year, let's decorate for every holiday ever. Town revenge against a neighbor. So if you read my post about flamingos, you might remember that I have a neighbor that everyone dislikes. So this past Christmas he decided to write a very nasty letter directed at everyone that put up Christmas decorations. He was upset that the decorations would ruin his property value. I really don't see how. So here is our new plan. The flamingos are out and enter a community chat. We created a community chat that he didn't join, and our plan is to decorate our entire neighborhood for every holiday. We have the mayor and town board in agreement. We just flooded the neighborhood with Valentine's Day decorations, now it's St. Patrick's Day, and so on. I never knew how many holidays there were in the US till we started this. The best part is he has threatened to sue the entire town. Let's see how well that works. Sometimes you don't need to get destructive to get even. Sometimes a little community pride will do the trick. So if you're ever rolling through a very old-looking town and see it decorated heavily for a holiday, you might be in my hometown. You get a tiki torch, you get a tiki torch. You all get tiki torches. This happened a couple years ago. I rent an apartment in a duplex. The lease says no smoking inside, which isn't a problem for me. But smoking outside does lead to two problems. One being the mosquitoes. The other being my neighbor, let's just call her Karen. When I first moved in, Karen came right up to me as I was moving boxes and followed me around to ask me questions and lay down the rules of the neighborhood as if she's the homeowners association. She told me that fire pits and bonfires, this will come into play later, aren't allowed because the street has had a gas leak before. It's actually a city ordinance that nobody really listens to. Anyways, at first I thought the questions was just a friendly neighbor getting to know me, but it quickly felt like an interrogation. Where are you coming from? Where do you work? Wife? Kids? Family in the area? It was just one question after the other, then she started telling me about everyone in the neighborhood too. That was enough for me to not like her. If she's telling me, basically a stranger, all the details she can think of everyone around us, then nothing I tell her would ever be private. Anyways, I just kept my head down and kept conversations kind of limited whenever I saw her. I was mean or cold to her, but definitely not as friendly as I could have been. But a few months go by and summer starts to pick up, as do the mosquitoes in my area. At first I tried sprays, but they don't work great at repelling. Then I tried citronella candles, but because I would blow them out when I was done smoking, the wax wouldn't melt evenly and I would waste a lot. So I landed on tiki torches. I bought a glass tabletop tiki torch, set it up on the brick patio near my bench, and it worked great. For an hour or so. So I'm sitting on my bench when I hear fire truck sirens. I live near a fire station, so that's not unusual. Until they turn down my street. I'm watching as they pull up to my house. It's a narrow street, so my first thought was that my car and my neighbor across the street were parked in a way blocking them from going down the street. So I run inside to grab my keys and dash to my car. But right as I'm at the sidewalk, half a dozen firefighters rush by me to my front yard, to the tiki torch. I have no clue what's going on, and with sirens going I can't hear them. One of them leans up close to me and yells in my ear, "What is that, a tiki torch?" I replied, still confused. "What are you burning? It's a tiki torch." I repeated, exasperated and confused. A few of them go back and turn off the siren and tell me one of my neighbors must hate me. They were called for an out-of-control fire pit. What they saw was a tiki torch with no flammable material around it, being watched by an adult. They said it's fine to have a tiki torch and they went on their way. Now imagine my surprise when the very next day I'm on my porch, tiki torch going, and I hear sirens again. I think they can't be me, but lo and behold, they turn down my street. I calmly cap the torch and wait for them. And now they were mad. They didn't know who called because they were dispatched by 911, but they told me if it happens again, they were going to file misuse of emergency service charges against whoever. Now I'm annoyed too. I'm not in the wrong. This one neighbor doesn't like me because I don't like her. Literally all my neighbors who've met me wave to me, we move each other's packages to a more hidden place on porches, help shovel driveways, I'm invited to multiple BBQs every summer and we still manage to stay out of each other's business. Not her. So my petty revenge plan came almost immediately. I went back to the grocery store I bought the tiki torch a few days earlier and cleaned them out. I bought 8 tons of citronella oil. I think the stockpile of citronella I have is more of a fire hazard than an actual fire pit. But yeah, I handed out them all to the neighbors in view of Karen and explained why I'm giving it and if they ever need the fluid to just text me. They all thought it was hilarious. So within the coming months my neighbors had the tiki torches proudly displayed on their porches whenever they had company over. They raised torches and cheers me from across the street with a grin. Maybe not as serious as others here, but it always gives me a smile. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.